Hello, coin collectors out there, and welcome to the DC Coin World International coin channel. Today, at long last, we're going to get another chance to look at some coins from the country of Germany. And these are all Euro coins from Germany. And so, what that means is that they'll have the standard Euro coin or European Union front, and the back of them will have the countryside or the country view. And actually, it's not the back, it's the front. This is actually called the obverse or front. But let's take a look at it. We see we got a 1 cent here and a 2 euro coin there. So let's go through all of them. We start with the 1 cent, and these are really hard to illuminate. So we will try to get this set up so that we can. And that's a little bit better. And we see right down here at the bottom, it says 2002. And so this is the first year that the euro cent coins were made. And this is a letter here, a D. The German coins all have their own specific mint marks on them, and D means that this was made at the Munich Mint. These are all a copper-plated steel, these first few, the 1 cent, the 2 cent, and the 5 cent. And so, and they will all have the same European Union design on them except for the number of the cents. So this says 1 euro cent, and this is the first design euro coin. What they did with these smaller value coins is they just made them a little bit bigger each time. This is a 2 euro cent, and you can see that it has 2002 here. The F mint mark, and that's for the Stuttgart mint. And if we turn it over, we see that it says 2 euro cents on it. Next up in line, another copper-plated steel coin is the 5 euro cent. And it's the same exact design except it says 5 and it's bigger. You can see that they just get bigger as you go. And again, we have the same back. And again, this is an F, so that means that this is a Stuttgart mint one also. After you get through these first three, though, we change what they're made of. So these are copper-plated steel, and they look very copperish. And they're magnetic, of course. After the first three, they move to what's called a Nordic gold. And Nordic gold is an alloy, in other words, a mix of different metals, and it has no gold in it at all. It is gold colored though, and can get really shiny. It's 89% copper, so almost 90% copper, 5% aluminum, 5% zinc, and 1% tin, and it's called Nordic gold, and that's what they use for the 10 euro cent coin. And you'll notice that we've done something on the 10 euro cent coin, and that is we've changed the design. And so instead of having a globe over here with the number on this side, we have the countries over here, and it says 10 euro cents. Another thing you'll notice is that they have the scalloped edge on here, and so you can tell these in your pocket. A third thing you'll notice is that this coin right here is actually smaller than the 5 euro cent coin, but because it has a different texture on it, on its edge, you can tell by the edge, and of course a different color. Next up, they produced then this is a 2002A, so that's a Berlin mint mark, and this has the Brandenburg Gate on it, and we didn't really talk about the back of the 10 cent, but they both have the Brandenburg Gate on them, as does the 50 cent. And there's the 20 right there. And see how they have this edge right here? That's called the Spanish flower design. And actually there are a couple of different countries in Asia that use this design too. I'm not sure if Malaysia uses it. And these indentations are called the Spanish flower design. So when you tip them up like this, you can see, and you can feel that with your hands so easily that you can distinguish this from the other euro cent coins. Finally, for the Nordic gold ones, we have the 50. And you can see the LL here, and that's Luke Leutsch's. He's the engraver and designer. And it says 50 euro cents here. And again, we have a really deep reeded edge, almost scalloped edge. And on the back, again, we have the Brandenburg Gate. And down here this time, we see that we have a G. And the G is a Karlsruhe. Karlsruhe Mint makes the G mint mark for the German euro coins. Next up, we see a quite different coin, and quite different in style, a little smaller than the 50 cent. It says €1 on it. So instead of euro cent, we've gone to €1. So this is essentially, if this was a 50 cent or half-dollar coin in the US, this would be a dollar coin or a €1 coin. So it's worth twice as much as the 50 cent coin. This one you can see immediately is a bimetallic coin. And when you make a bimetallic coin, what you do is you make a certain kind of metal in the middle, and then you make a different kind of metal on the outside. And these are very, very hard to counterfeit. And so they love these coins. A really deep rim, as you can see, it says €1. It has the European countries here. On the back, we see another German design, and that is the eagle. And we see it says 2002, and it's back to the D mint mark. And again, the D mint mark for the German coins is Munich. This is a copper nickel clad nickel center, which is weird, and it is a nickel brass ring. So the outside is a nickel brass. This is not the Nordic gold on the outside. This is a nickel brass on the outside, and it's a copper nickel clad nickel in here. And when they are first minted, they are very shiny, but the nickel, of course, wears and it gets a little duller. And then finally, and this one's a little bit bigger, but you notice that they switched the metals around. So the outside of this becomes the inside, and the inside becomes the outside. And this is a newer one, a 2011. And we can see that there's an F here. And so the F mint mark for Germany is Stuttgart. It's a Stuttgart mint mark. And this coin, instead of having the copper nickel of the nickel brass ring on the outside, what you have is a nickel brass clad nickel in the center, and you have a copper nickel ring on the outside. So these match and these outside match, and it says €2 on it. One of the things I love about these coins is how they actually come across here and here, and they blend the center engraving. It goes right out into the other material, which is must be really hard to get it fit. I mean, you have the little lines to line it up with, but you have to get this exact before you finish it, because you could certainly, I would love to see some error coins of this, because I'm sure there are some where they didn't get it quite right, but I haven't gotten to see one of those yet. And again, we have the German eagle on the back, and the back design, I should have said that earlier, is Hans Hoyer and Snachana Rusawa Hoyer. And they did this back design, and it's the traditional symbol of German sovereignty, and it has the 12 stars of Europe around the outside. Okay, so we've seen them all. We've seen €1, €2, 50 cent, 20 cent, 5 cent, 1 cent. Let's put them all right here in a big pile in the center and say goodbye to the euro coins from Germany. And again, these are valid in all European countries. It's just that these particular ones were minted in Germany with German mint marks. Have a great day from DC Coin World International Coin Channel.